by Roofon. Take it away.
Yeah, so we're good? Okay. Yeah. This is Unsighted. Good to start, right? I'm not crazy. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, time starts now. Sorry. Yeah, so this is Unsighted any percent. Unsighted was a game came out in late 2021. It's kind of a Zelda-like top-down. It has a lot of similarities to Hyper Light Drifter as well, if you ever played that game. But yeah, it's kind of top-down, Zelda-like game. You know, you go to your dungeons, you get your funny dungeon items, but the speedrunner, we're just kind of going to ignore all that because this game also kind of lets you just craft whatever you want for the most part. And so our general game plan for the start of the game is getting the items we need to craft the stuff we need to beat the game. Right now, we actually kind of skipped a bit of the tutorial there. Normally you're supposed to find a code. That code is the same every time, so we can use our magic ability called memorization to get through there early. And actually, if you skip the sword at the beginning of the game here, Iris, who's this little fairy here, will give you an axe instead. Axes are going to be our main go-to for combat because they do more damage. And because our main primary method of dealing damage is going to be doing spin attacks after parrying a boss. Right there, we actually equipped a strength chip, which causes us to do more damage. Basically, chips you can like slot in and like boost a number of different attributes for Alma, who's our player character. And yeah, we'll be using a few of them throughout the run. And right now, you'll see I'm breaking those rocks there. Like I said, I was trying to get crafting materials. Those rocks are actually on a set cycle. They're not random. Thank goodness. And the cycle is, I believe, iron, wire, engine oil, and then sprocket. And so we route the beginning. Okay. Jumping onto these boxes is really annoying. Because normally to jump on them, you would need like the high jump boots, but we're about to get those. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Those switches right there, by the order of them, I forgot them. Cool. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's what I thought. These are like the only RNG thing in the run, actually. Everything else can be mostly manipulated. Granted, manipulating some of the boss's patterns is very hard, but most of them aren't too bad. Like this is gonna be the first boss right here. Actually, we're gonna show this off. So use a spin attack with the axe, parry, spin attack again, which since you parried, it does more damage. Attack, jump attack. Wait for this guy. Parry this one. Kill this spider here to manipulate drops. Spin attack again and jump attack, and that's it. You'll see we got the engine oil from the spider there. We killed the 2 other spiders earlier on, which set that up, and killing that 3rd one there gives us the engine oil. So, yeah, there's a particular order for killing these things. And yeah, next up will be save and quitting here to get back to the terminal here. Because it's just a bit faster than walking all the way back. And we're going to go head up here. Up here is a spin attack chip. This will cause our spin attack to do more damage, which will become actually immediately useful because we're going to fight these shadow creatures. Basically, the plot of this game is you kind of woken up in a lab and you don't really know what's going on, but basically all the robots function on this thing called anima. Words are hard. And that comes from this meteor. And all the humans put a giant tower on the meteor, so the robots no longer have access to the anima. And now you're trying to solve that issue. You might have noticed there that I actually got 2 sprockets from the rocks there. The item that you get from ore doesn't update until after you pick up an item from them, which is why I was able to get 2 sprockets from there. But yeah, basically what ends up happening is you're like, okay, I need to get into the tower, so you need to go make a weapon that gets into the tower, which requires you to kill the 5 bosses. And so yeah, but there's these shadow creatures that came out of the tower, and normally you're supposed to use that like weapon to kill them, but you can also just parry and kill them. It's actually really important we do that here because if we fail, killing these here gets us the flame sword, and we need the flame sword for progression reasons because there's certain things that you can only get past with a fire weapon. So we're also going to break these extra boxes here in case we can get a I think what drops from the boxes is actually RNG. I'm not sure though. Hoping to get an extra scrap metal or 2 because the current route doesn't you don't buy enough scrap metal, you just rely on getting extra scrap metal from there. But yeah, it went pretty cleanly. Just a few parries there, wasn't too bad. And now we go into crafting mania. We're gonna craft some attack cogs, which do more damage. Basically, you can have like cogs which do give you temporary buffs, and the ones we use in this run are the attack and stamina cogs, which the attack cog gives you a 25% damage increase, and a stamina cog gives you a big stamina increase. You also might have noticed there that there was like a brief pop-up. That was about character timers. Basically, every character in this game is on a timer because they only have so much anima. And so kind of the premise is like, you have to do things fast and whatnot. And there's an option to turn it off. But yeah, obviously this is a speedrun, so the timer doesn't really come into play, but it is an interesting element of the game for casual play.
Would now be a good time to jump in with a quick donation?
Yeah, go for it.
Awesome. So we have $15 from Frankie M, who says, so glad to see Unsighted. It's a lovely game, not to mention very speedrun friendly. Let's make boss rush happen. Good luck to all the runners. Agreed. Let's make that boss rush happen. Let's push for it, everybody. But we got to do it super fast. Let's speedrun it. Let's go.
There's time for another. If there's another one.
Yeah, for sure. We also have $20 from Bean, who says, Unsighted is a great game, Roofon is a great runner, and Malala Fund is a great cause. Agreed on all of the above. Thanks so much, Bean.
Yeah. So right now, now that we've crafted all the things, we got the hook shot and the spinner, and we're actually going to get this meteor dust here. One of the other things about you can give NPCs meteor dust to like extend their time, their anima, and if you give them 3, they'll give you an item, and we're actually going to get an item from one of them, which is the parry master chip, which will let you do more damage after parrying something. Also, normally to cross water, you're kind of expected to get like the ice grenade, but if you time attacks on the spinner, you can also jump over water, which is cool, and very fun. Unfortunately, it's a bit weird, and I find the bamboo, when you hit it in here, generates a lot of lag on my computer, which makes it annoying, but this game doesn't actually run particularly poorly. I just have a very bad computer, so that is not a major concern. I can usually run it just fine, so if you're concerned about computer specs, it should not be one. And yeah, now we basically have almost all we need for the dungeons. We're actually going to get so basically the other like kind of thing you're going for is your girlfriend Raquel. She's disappeared. You don't know where she is, and so you suspect she's also in the tower. So that's your kind of your other motivation. Right here we get the spin charge ship, which lets us spin attack faster, which not only is useful because it's pretty useful on the final boss given the spin timings, but it's also useful because it makes a telehooking, which is hasn't happened yet, but will become used a bit more in the run a bit later. But it's a very fast method of moving around rooms, and it's a lot easier if you have the spin charge ship. But yeah, you'll find out that your girlfriend's axe is stuck in the shadow creature here, so we're going to hit here. Beat this one up and grab it, because this axe has the strongest base damage out of any axe in the game besides the corrupted axe. Plus, like, it's your girlfriend's axe, so why not? And yeah, now we have all we're going to use for quite a while until. So now we just gotta go and rush to kill all the bosses. A boss rush, if you will. Crazy. There's an incentive for that. But yeah. The first boss, the boss order, we go through dungeons 1, 3, 2, 5, 4 in that order, just because that's fast. Honestly, learning this game, how fast you get from one boss to another was honestly very surprising to me, because like normally you go through all these things, you get all the items and like whatnot, but like you can just go right up to each boss or one after the other. But yeah, we'll be heading to the first boss real quick, which is in the caves over here. Yeah. Probably time for a donation.
Awesome, I got you. We have $25 from Kay, who says, let's push for that 60K, less than 3. Wait, 60K is more than 3. Heart! Also, just pointing out that we are almost at $500 out of the 1,000 we need for the boss rush mode. We're going up really fast, so can we hit 515 extra dollars? Come on, chat, let's go. Let's push for it.
Okay. Yep, about to get to the first boss here. When I noticed I went back through the loading zone there, I think that might lose time RTA, but it's a habit of mine because this game is timed using not the in-game timer, but the RTA minus loads, because the in-game timer has, if you saw earlier, there was a lot of crafting, and that is not counted in the game timer, so removing all of that from the run would be kind of a bit silly. So, and I've had runs where, like, I've been pretty faster, and then, like, the in-game time is, like, slower, so, like, yeah, it's timed using RTA minus loads, which is neat. Yep, first boss here. Fun fact about this boss is there'll be a cutscene coming up here. I don't know if this applies to the rest of the bosses, but as for this boss in particular, if you kill this boss during this cutscene, which is possible to do, the game will soft lock. The boss will just dance around in its second phase, and you won't be able to do anything, which is somewhat amusing. Yeah, and a pretty clean, quick kill there. You saw like time the spin attack for when all the heads split, and that makes killing them very fast. Ideally, the two in the bottom left bunch up together, but that didn't happen for me. Anyways, this is the memories hex portion. These are thankfully also consistent, but they're really annoying because like they can be tight to go through on each of them, and I also just struggle to remember the path on every single one of them. Like I have a general idea of them, but I haven't sat down and practiced them enough. But some of the later ones can be a bit rough. And yeah, we're gonna switch around, and we're gonna finally use that Parry Master chip. We didn't use it initially because you don't need to for that boss, and it takes a bit of time to switch them out. Old Roots had like a bit more menuing because you had to like switch between the turn off and on the cogs, but I realized like you could do that way less than you do, and Monster really helped, who currently has world record, really helped minimize that kind of removing of cogs, because I don't think you ever actually remove cogs in the run anymore. Where before you did it a few times to remove the stamina cog for these first bosses, but it turns out you really don't need the stamina cog for them. We're taking a bit of detour here to grab the risk chip. There's faster ways to grab this, but I haven't practiced them enough, and I've just started incorporating this. This will be useful for the final boss. Basically, if you're at low health, you'll do, I think, 20% more damage. But the one caveat of that is to be at low health, you're pretty much just in one-shot range, so definitely makes it a bit more tricky, but I've been practicing a good bit, so we'll see what happens. But it's not useful for really any of the bosses because there's not really a good place to take damage. Oh, I accidentally missed a switch. These switches are, normally the puzzle for this dungeon is like you have to go find the switches here. These switches, unlike the ones before the first boss, are consistent every single time. So, that's nice. This is also like the worst boss in the game. I don't have a great strat for it as part of the problem, but also this boss, even with a good strat, can sometimes just have weird behavior. And like, you can manipulate how bosses act based on your position and like how much health they have, but sometimes it can just be rough to do that, so... And this is definitely the one where it can be the most rough for. Oh, whoops. Yeah, okay. Yeah, just wait for the... I've decided to just, like... I found out you can kind of just wait for this one to spawn. The ideal route kills her before she leaves that platform. I don't know why she's doing this attack. I guess I was standing on there. But... that works out, actually. Because that's a faster attack than the other one. And yeah, that one wasn't too bad, but... Sometimes she can just do completely wild patterns that are... very unfortunate. And right after this, actually, we're going to have our first telehook of the run. Basically, when you can hold a spin attack while also holding the hookshot button down, and you will cause you to go... Where is this path? It will cause you to go into a direction relative to where you're holding the left stick when you release the spin attack. I should note, I'm saying left stick here. You can do them on keyboard. I don't know if they're like slightly different. I heard there's issues with them problem, but Monster came into the game and runs the game on mouse and keyboard, which I do think is just genuinely faster because of all the menuing it saves time on. But yeah, I don't know exactly how telehooks work for that. You'd have to ask him. But yeah, I would like to say, like, this is a fun game to get in speedrun, and there's a pretty decent guide for any percent that I think covers most of the things. It might not be 100% up to date, but it's like up to date enough for someone getting into the game. So I definitely recommend giving this game a shot. It's pretty fun. And yeah, right up in this next room will be the first telehook, and then immediately followed. Yeah, we just went straight across the room here, and then normally this boss is kind of like the Tower of Hera, where you're supposed to like fall into here, but you can just teleport right into it. And yeah, now we're at the boss. And yeah, this boss, I like doing the fast kill on this boss. It's very satisfying. Missed the parry, unfortunately. Oh, I forgot to mention combo meter. Combo meter, you'll see the meter in top left. That goes up as you deal damage to bosses, which is also why we have the shotgun, because it helps build the meter, as well as doing a bit more damage. The number on there corresponds to a damage multiplier, so right now it's at 2 times, so I do 2 times as much damage. And that's a pretty important part of boss, like how fast can you get the combo meter up before you parry them, because you want it to be as high as possible when you parry them. And you can build it a bit more well there in parry stun, because the shotgun doesn't remove them for parry stun, which is nice. We have time for another donation.
Amazing. So we have a $50 donation from Adorabibble, who says, "This runner is awesome. Let's get that boss rush in." And just checking in on it, we are less than halfway to our goal for the boss rush, which means that we are flying through it. So let's get those donations, everyone. We still have time, and we are less than halfway there. So let's push for it, all right? I want to see those coming in.
Yeah. Yeah, now we've gone back to the town because it's faster for getting to the next boss here. Because you have the first 3 bosses are kind of on the right side of the map, and then the next 2 are over here on the left side. You'll notice I'm breaking these boxes here as I go along. Spinner can be a bit finicky. I'm doing that on purpose because they have a chance to drop the scrap metal, which is used to craft attack cogs. And yeah, it's generally the best way to get for it because it doesn't usually lose too much time, and some of them really doesn't lose any time, so try to do that as much as possible. Yeah, and we're in the factory now. This is the 5th dungeon, full of fire and lava. It's also the longest dungeon even for the speedrun because while there is actually a good amount that we skip, you're supposed to get like arms for the mech you get. You can skip those, but you still have to get the rockets because they're needed for the first phase of the boss. And you can actually like get to the boss without it, but you just can't. You also can't start the boss without it. And yeah, this fire here has a wall above them, so you can't jump over them. So we just have to telehook through instead of going to another room. Okay, we went to the room up here for some reason. Can be a bit finicky sometimes. There we go. Yeah, say hello to Haley. She's our mech suit friend. Big fan. And can press down these big switches. Iris will actually have dialogue if you step on the big switches here, but aren't in the mech. And hopefully I won't mess it up, but you can have her trigger that dialogue while spawning the boss, which will allow you to get into the mech early and deal a whole bunch of extra damage to the boss while it's still in the boss cutscene. This telehook is a bit rough. Yeah, I'm not getting quite the right angle on it. Too early. Where am I? Oh no. Am I out of bounds? Oh no! Where am I? This is tragic. The out of bounds camera will sometimes go, if I go out far enough out of bounds, it will... I think it'll be faster to... Maybe faster to quit out. It'll be faster to quit out here. Unfortunate. I can reload. Fortunate bit of time lost there, but it happens. That telehook is a bit finicky. I'm still getting better at it. Oh. Ah! Please leave me alone. That's unfortunate. Okay. Yeah, those enemies aren't there when you go into the room the first time, so makes doing that jump over there a little bit more tricky. So fortunately, Alma died here, but yeah. I will forgo the telehook. Why don't you try I don't need to know how to create effect cogs. Thank you, Iris. Okay. There we go. And now we do the reverse of the telehook we did from before. That works too. Unfortunate bit of time loss here. Okay. And we're back. Sometimes you just
All right, would now be time for a quick check-in?
Yep, go for it.
Okay, great. So we have a $100 donation from Anonymous. Thanks so much, Anonymous. We're also already at $550. So we are flying up. We just have, math is hard, $449 to go, I think. So let's do it, everyone. We are doing so great. So let's see that boss rush, because we want to put Roofon to the test.
Yeah, the boss rush is neat. Basically, the way it works is kind of like a roguelike. So you kind of have to go on the fly with what items you get for dealing with bosses. Also, right here, if you put this box slightly against this wall, you can shoot through it and hit that switch early. Which is kind of the big skip that allows you to get the arms earlier than normal. Or not the arms, the missiles earlier than normal. The telehook there just saves a bit of time. Unfortunately, it lost a lot of time, but sometimes that happens. Funny thing can happen with this here. I like to mash Y to skip text. Y gets out of the mech, and if you have the mech on top of that pad and try and press Y, it'll trigger a dialogue box, which can make it very hard to get back in the mech. And that happened in one of my practice runs today, and it was amusing. Yep, about to fight this boss here, though. This boss, despite being the 5th one, isn't actually that scary. Like, does a lot of damage, but overall, not too bad. Nice, I got the double cutscene, so I can get into the mech early, and I can damage the boss while it's going down. And before it can even get an attack off, I've already shaved off half its health. And done. That's the first phase. And unfortunately, if you were a big Haley fan, I'm really sorry to disappoint you, but Haley's about to die. Goodbye. I'll miss you dearly.
And now be time for a quick little donation.
Sure.
So this one is a shout out to everyone in the audience. We have $10 from Jojo Z, who says, "Chat is cute." You've got a fan.
Big chat fan. Yeah, that boss, like the other ones, just kind of wait for the parry and goes by pretty fast. Fortunately, missed the one cycle. Still practicing that too, but pretty solid overall. And yeah, heading right over to the last boss, and then we'll get our meteor weapon, and then we'll pretty much be in go mode. Though there'll be a small detour to chat with a friend, because the devs made sure that being gay was the optimal way to play this game. So normally there's I'll talk a bit more when I get there, I suppose, actually. There's not too much to talk about right now, because just kind of running through and getting all the bosses.
I'll just pop in really quick because this made me go wow. We are up to 811 out of 1,000 for the boss rush. It just went zoom. So chat is not only cute, chat is zooming. So we have less than $200 to go for this boss rush. I know we can do it, everyone. This is incredible. Let's speedrun it.
Okay. Yeah. This boss, like a few of the other bosses, you can, actually, this boss in particular encourages damaging it beforehand because you're supposed to hit it first, but then you can also charge a spin attack during the cutscene, which we did for a few of the other bosses, and lets you get a bit extra damage in. Yeah, very clean one cycle there. Cool. Yep, and now we have our last meteor shard and are good to go and get our corrupted axe. And hopefully don't miss menu and get the corrupted sword instead. I've done that in exactly one run, and I hope this isn't run number 2. Because, I mean, you can beat the final boss with the corrupted sword, it's just, like, slower, and, I've never done it outside of when I played this game casually. So, and I played this game casually with co-op, so it was a bit different as well. Because this game does have a pretty fun co-op mode. It's a bit finicky only because the camera kind of sucks, but it was pretty enjoyable when I played it. So, definitely recommend giving it a shot if you got a friend. Right, this one goes up this way.
Hey, Roofon.
Yeah.
Hey, Roofon. How much do you like bosses?
The bosses in this game are pretty solid, dude. Have we met the incentive?
Oh yeah, we met the incentive.
Woo!
Woohoo! Good job, everybody. You pushed so hard. But also, as your friendly neighborhood host, I do have to remind you, we still have more incentives open. I'm going to push y'all. You know how it is. So not only is the boss rush met, now we also have to push for our life slide challenge levels. So don't let that momentum stop. Let's keep it going.
Okay. Here we go. Fun fact about this cutscene is while the skip cutscene's going on, you can still move for some reason. And we're also now going to equip that risk chip from earlier. Fortunately, there's no other damage up chips that I think are anywhere close to the rest of the path, so we have to go with the risk chip, which means you got to do the final boss hit list, which is really fun. It's actually not too bad, but obviously having to do anything without making any mistakes is a little rough. And menued correctly, let's go. And our axe is actually corrupted, which is crazy. But yeah, now we're going to go fight M, who is an optional boss. And the reason she's a bit faster is because 1, she allows us to skip the escape sequence that's normally at the end of the game. And 2, she gives us a key card that allows us to skip a few floors of the tower. And you have to go fight her to skip those floors because otherwise the loading zones don't exist. And so taking the detour to fight her does save a bit of time. It's probably less since, you know, all the telehook stuff, but because you can kind of telehook past most of the tower floors. People found ways for doing it, but still saves a bit of time. The devs were very determined to have you saving your girlfriend be faster than not saving her. And you have to save her normally during the escape sequence, but if you do this fight, she gets saved automatically, so. We'll equip that corrupted axe, which does twice as much damage. And there's a funny little cutscene thing you can do here as well. And we'll see if I get it. Because basically Iris will come into here and be like, this place is spooky. Oh, I missed the Y press on the scythe, so we're gonna miss it. Normally, well, if you hit it right, once this boss starts, Iris will start talking to you, and her leaving, the boss will still teleport while she's leaving. So you can get immediately to where she'll attack you without losing any extra time. Because you have to sit through the Iris cutscene anyways. Yeah, that boss only takes 1 hit to kill, which is nice.
I have a quick donation if now's a good time. So we had $250 from Adora Bibble, who says, Boss Rush! With a less than 3. So thanks so
Thank
much
you.
for your hard push, everybody. That was incredible. Great job, everyone. And friendly reminder that all of your donations are also going towards that $60,000 Mario Kart 8 DLC incentive. So let's push for that too. You're killing it, chat. You're killing it.
Cool. We're actually about to take damage in a second from here to set up the risk chip. So yeah, because there'll be another shadow creature here who does enough damage to set us down to the threshold. So we'll get hit by him, and then we'll go damage boost through him, and we'll take the elevator. And yeah, we're in go mode, so no taking damage for the rest of the run. Always fun to be tense situation. Though I've only kind of started doing it recently. It's just having to perfect the bosses. Always a little bit of extra stress. This is also like one of the worst telehooks in the game. I really don't like this one. No. Oh, okay, I was really worried. Normally there's like arena battles in the tower there, and I bonked and I almost would have activated one. Thankfully I didn't. So yeah, we're on the final boss now. Activate the terminal just in case, and activate my cogs. Okay, we ball. The first part of this boss is a mini boss rush against any of the meteor shard bosses. It starts off with Luna. We're gonna run backwards to make it so she doesn't jump, and then we're gonna run and hit, run around to avoid the orbs, shotgun her, parry again, shotgun twice, blunder because you're supposed to hit her with a spin attack. So we'll have to spin attack Maria instead. Spin attack Maria instead, please. Thank you. Okay.
We have a quick little encouragement dono if you have a second.
Go for it.
Okay. We have $10 from Jim Bob who says, Roofon best speedrunner.
Oh, thank you, Jim Bob. I appreciate it. Okay. And final boss time. This is Anima Essence, who's kind of the thing behind the meteor, I guess. Weird little fella. It's important time to note that while you're doing a spin attack, you are invincible, which is relevant for this segment here, where we're going to spin attack through each of these. We're going to gain stamina, and that was a tight one. Okay. Summons the little tendrils here. And then summons Raquel, your girlfriend, to swing an axe at you. And then... and boss set. Time will be up soon. Not quite yet. I'll tell you when. Have a little cutscene here where you find out that being gay was the solution all along, which is pretty cool. I'm a big fan. Okay. And the world's shortest escape sequence, because again we did that boss earlier. Time. Cool. Yeah. Tower explodes. Unfortunately skipping past the gay kiss, but because it takes like a minute. And we gotta get on this boss rush.
Yeah, amazing. Tell us about it and get right into it.
Yeah, the boss rush is basically, it is a kind of a, basically it is very much more improvisational, I guess, because you basically have to rely on what items you get. There's items that are better than others, but it basically gives you random chips and it will give you random choices of weapons. At the beginning, the weapons are consistent, so you get an option of like axe, sword, blaster, and health thing. and you can select 2 of them, and then you get a random assortment of chips. You need to remember not to turn permadeath on, because I usually do it by default. I always take the axe and the syringe. It's technically faster to take something that's not the syringe. However, syringe is a lot safer, so absolutely. And we got power chip, which does more damage when we're at full health, and quick attack chip, which allows us to attack faster. So that's actually already a pretty good start. Around 10 minutes. Okay. Yep. Pretty clean kill there. And the strats can vary depending on what you want. Swing charge chip is good. Defense cog is good. I'll save it because defense cog basically makes it so when you take damage, you won't. And it's very useful when combined with chip setups that will let you have low health but do a lot of damage. So you can stack those to keep you from dying. Up next is a boss that we didn't see in the regular run. This is basically Armos. This normally is in the cave and locks the shuriken, which we don't get in the base game. Yep, and a lot of good spin attacks because you want to, like, for this boss have them lined up so that the spin attacks hit as many as possible. Stamina cog is good. Speed chip's fine. And shop has upgrade stations, which you can use to upgrade your weapons. Right now I'm just upgrading the base axe. Ideally we get either grenade spread or grenade spread is good. Another thing that's good is just the fire axe, because it just does more damage, and the fire effect actually works for bosses, whereas the other 2 elemental axes, the frost and ice axe, the frost and thunder axe, don't work nearly as well against bosses in my experience. Still able to get enough damage. Quick attack helped with that a lot. Yeah, no, very fast. Ideally, I'm looking right now, considering I'm getting to my axe a lot, I would like to get a gun that will complement it and make getting the combo meter higher, like either the Doctor's Pistol or the shotgun. It's a chip is fine. Ooh, I can't afford the Blazing Axe. I am very sad. Yeah, because I would have taken that because it like I think it right now it does a little less damage to mine, but overall because it has a burn effect, it would do more damage. So unfortunately, money management is a thing. Yeah, another thing you can look for in this, you would want to get in this run a lot, is the greed chip, because that makes it so you get double money, but you lose all your money if you die. Which, like, when you're doing something, usually I do this permadeath. When I do it, I just disable that for marathon reasons, obviously. Yeah, you can jump and spin attack too, which is a little silly. And some, the build I'm getting here is actually pretty similar to, because like I do also get, you know, the quick spin, and like you don't always get that quick spin, which actually makes the final boss a lot harder because it's a lot harder to do the jump attack, spin attack to tank through shots. No, I thought there would be double barrel chip is very good if we get grenade spread, so I'm hoping we do. That basically causes any of our guns to shoot twice instead of once. And if you ever like the New Game Plus run, especially abuses it, but New Game Plus run gets the grenade spread and absolutely shreds bosses with it because it just shoots so many times, and it's very amusing. And that works well for boss rush as well, provided you can get the grenade spread, which unfortunately is a good bit of RNG in this category, but guess we can use a shuriken a little bit for some bonus damage. Yeah, like this is a pattern that doesn't normally happen. Yeah. We can parry her when she comes down. You get to see generally more of the boss fights because you don't have quite as much damage, which is neat. I think most of the bosses are pretty well designed in this game, except the crab. Hate the crab. Which you'll see the crab in a little bit. Cool. Pretty decent pace right now. This is a pretty average run in my experience. Just hoping to find a grenade spread or another gun with the double... Right, I have to jump over here. Bullet chip is okay. Frost axe is okay, but I don't think it does more damage right now and it consumes more stamina. That's one thing I haven't mentioned, stamina management. It's decently relevant to... Auto Blaster is funny. We're going Auto Blaster. Auto Blaster isn't the greatest gun I could be getting. It's probably one of the worst ones off, but it's definitely better than the Blaster. And it's decent for building up combo meter. It might be a bit more effective now that we have when we have double barrel as well.
Would now be time for a good quick donation?
Yep, go for it.
Great. So we have $50 from Steffi Starlight, who says, let's hear it for Roofon, Lanaruse, everyone making this event possible. Oh, and cute chat too. Aw, thanks, Steffi.
Thank you. Fast combo chip is good. That allows building combo faster. Reload cog makes it so you don't have to reload your gun for a while. Gonna remove this, add this. Actually, that stacking with the double barrel chip will probably be pretty good. We've maxed out the war axe at this point too. Gonna get this, and then the last boss we'll do is the crab. Crab sucks. It is very... It's mainly that dealing damage to the crab if you don't have certain builds can be a bit rough. No! Okay. I barely made that cycle there. Got knocked off. Getting knocked off sends us up in the air. I kind of forgot to mention that. There's a point in the run where it's used to get on top of a high platform. And also jump attacking on the platforms. That was something I kind of forgot to mention, but it's definitely useful movement. Drifter ship. That's actually mildly useful. All my other ships are more useful though. Oh, I can still upgrade the Borax one more time. Now it's at +5, which is the max, so that's at least pretty good. And yeah, we're gonna fight the crab. There's a souped up version of this crab when going through the true ending as well, which is also partially my ire for this, because that souped up version is brutal.
Would now be a good time for a quick donation?
Yep, go for it.
Great. So we have $30 from Abert, who says, we love GDQ. Go Fatals. Oh, hey. Also, just quickly pointing out that we are at 740 out of 1,000 for our next incentive, the Life Slide Challenge level. So let's keep pushing for that. I'll show you some math. $260, okay? Something like that. Let's push for it.
Oh, right, I forgot they have a close range hitbox. This is a very mediocre crab fight. It's also like a really awkward parry timing on his claws is the other issue I have with him. He'd just be a very rough boss, especially because he also spawns, if you don't kill him fast, he spawns these little extra small crabs or the little cloaked guys, which are also very annoying. Yeah, this is the boss of the temple that Maria's, or the mini boss of Temple Maria's in. And guards the ice grenade, which allows you to make platforms on ice, which is pretty cool. Oh, jumper ship is actually good. It's also good. Jumper ship makes it so you do more damage with jump attacks, which you do a lot of. I'll get an auto blaster. And might as well throw on these defense cogs, because there's no other time we're going to use them. And then, what can we replace for... We don't need speed ship. And yeah, final boss time. Timing stops when the final boss dies on this one. I suppose the other one. Or I think it does. I can't remember, actually. Because this is at the... Both this, and there's a version called Dungeon Rush, where you kind of go through dungeons as well, as opposed to just like bosses. That one, like, which has pretty similar mechanics in terms of weapons. Yeah, both are pretty fun just to mess around with. I definitely enjoy just going into... Boss rush is also a nice way to just practice like unconventional boss strategies and get a better understanding of the AI, in my opinion. Oh, dang it. Time is coming up soon. And... time.
Awesome. Fantastic. So just to wrap up, do you want to tell us any final thoughts or any sign-off stuff? Any shout-outs?
I want to give a shout out to everyone in the Unsighted community, as well as the devs, for making this game like very speedrun friendly. Community is great. I've enjoyed learning the game and teaching people about stuff on the game, writing guides and stuff. And yeah, it's just a nice community. I would definitely recommend it. The game itself, casually, is very fun. Yeah. It's a cool game. It's a cool speedrun.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Roofon. Everyone, let's give another round of applause for Roofon and that Unsighted run and the boss rush mode. Give yourselves a big round of applause for hitting that incentive so fast. That was incredible, incredible work. All right, everyone. So we're just going to catch you up really quick on where we're at incentive-wise. We have been making stellar progress. Stellar progress. And let's just check in on where we're at, okay? So we are currently at $740 out of 1,000. Now, y'all are really making me do math here, but I'm pretty sure that is 3/4 of the way, almost, of making it, which leaves 1/4 left to do it. So let's slide those donations right on in for Life Slide so we can see an incredible challenge level. I guarantee it's so amazing. You will absolutely want to see it. So let's get those donations in for Selkuth. It will be incredible. We also have some other incentives that are open, such as our Hello Kitty and Sanrio Friends Racing character choice. And also, we had a brand new incentive open, the Contra 3, the Alien Wars Action Hero Dress Up, which is currently sitting at $2,000. So let's get that started as well, and we will make incredible progress with all of these donations going to Malala Fund. All right, everybody, we have more runs coming up tonight, but first, we're going to take a short break. Catch you right after this. Welcome back, everybody. I hope you enjoyed that nice, cozy little break. So, just a couple quick donations before we get going with the next run. We have $100 from Audible Silence, who says, OG Speedbird checking in. Gotta drop in the good luck and have a not so safe flight. Let's get that challenge level in. Agreed. Let's get it. Y'all, we have only $110 to go. I know we can do it. We are getting so close. Let's push for it and see that challenge level. Also, just a friendly reminder that another incentive recently opened up, and that is the Contra 3, the Alien Wars Action Hero Dress Up. So that is set at $2,000, currently at $175. Also, just a friendly reminder that every single donation is going to our big milestone tonight of $60,000 for the Mario Kart 8 DLC levels. So not only can you go for one of these specific incentives, you can go for the big milestone of the night. All right, we are all ready for our next run. We have Life Slide, New Game Plus Seedless, featuring the lovely Selkuth Mind. Take it away.